Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and today I've got just two rooms to do. This is the office. Bedroom is just over there. We'll be in there in a minute. This carpet I have been cleaning for about 10 years, and it's the office is well used, so we get quite a change on where the plastic mat is sitting, and a lot of activity back and forth in here. So it does get pretty soiled up, and I clean it about once a year. And what's interesting about this job today is, well, first of all, I do have some urine stains to deal with in the bedroom. Dougie got in here and pee-peed in the bedroom, but we'll get to that in a minute. But the other thing is that when I realized where I was going today, I realized, remembered what I did the last time. I thought, oh, this ought to be interesting, because the last time I cleaned this carpet, I was carrying my orbital machine with me, my Orbitec, which is similar to a Challenger machine, and I was doing some experimenting and comparing the orbital with my rotary. I was sort of really wanting to reassess, which one is actually cleaning better, and what did I like using more for residential. And so I cleaned this carpet the last time with my rotary machine, or pardon me, with my orbital machine. And anyway, that was interesting because I realized as I was cleaning it that it just wasn't cleaning as well as it had been cleaning in the past when I had used my rotary. I mean, it did okay. It just, compared to what I was used to, was for how the carpet would turn out and how it reacted to the actual cleaning process, I realized that I didn't like what I was seeing at all. It wasn't like night and day, like terrible or anything. It was just, I could see that I was more confident with the end result that I was getting with the rotary, and the rotary is just easier to use on the carpet because it just, it's like power driven, as it were. Anyway, so that was my thought as I came in today, and realizing that I had actually used my orbital machine the last time. I thought it'd be interesting to compare it, because here we are a year later. I cleaned it with the orbital last time, and what I thought and felt about what was happening on the carpet the last time, and how I was just not really happy with what I saw, how the cleaning was going, and what the end result was. It wasn't, as I say, it wasn't like night and day or anything. It wasn't like, wow, that's lousy. It was fine. It was just didn't have the punch, the effectiveness, I guess you could say, that I was used to getting when using the rotary. And one of the reasons is actually, I don't know if you can see what's happening, is as I'm going over this area where the contrast was, I've actually applied a little bit more solution just as I went over there, and slowed right down. And of course the fiber pad, I'm using a hog's hair, by the way, is just cutting right through that ground in soil so easily. And that was where I noticed when I was doing it with the OP the last time, that it just, I mean, it did work in the end. It just wasn't as dramatic as quickly as what I was used to getting on this carpet every time when I've cleaned it for more than 10 years using the rotary. So I just thought that was a kind of an interesting observation. I know there's a big debate about which ones actually clean better, and if you've been watching my videos, I'm always trying to say that I think that the rotary is, in most cases, for residential anyway, is a better choice, but that's a matter of preference. I'm not saying you can't clean a carpet with a rotary on, and there's lots of guys that do and are completely happy, and give them a rotary and they wouldn't be able to clean like I can because, well, this is what I've been doing for the last 25 years. So I'm definitely going to have more skill and understanding of how to use the rotary than somebody who almost never uses it would. So there's that to bear in mind. And I use OP all the time as well too, because I use the OP for virtually all my commercial work, because I do prefer the OP for I have an Orbot and a Orbitec CX17, so I find that wheels down, of course, and I find that for the wide open hallways of condos and whatnot, they really do very well there, and I think that they do better. Their real strength is for low pile carpeting. I think that the longer the pile, the less well they work. But that's a matter of opinion, but that's what I have observed in my cleaning over the last, well, quite a few years. Of course, OPs have only been out for a little over 10 years, so. But, I don't know if you can see, but this carpet is doing really well. There is some color change where the mat has been sitting as opposed to where obviously it's not been. And this carpet is quite a few years old now. I'm not sure how old it is. I think it's around 15 years. So, but you can't see the actual line very well anymore. So anyway, we'll switch over to a Iron Man. And of course, this is a pretty crampy room. It's not so bad, but easy to do a little dance with the rotary. So I'm cleaning it with Nanomax at 1 ounce per gallon. I, as usual, have ClO2 in the water as well. I always do, because I include the disinfecting and sanitizing anti-allergen aspect of the ClO2 as part of my marketing. So I always include that. We used to do that with ozone, although the ozone wasn't an anti-allergen, but being able to say that is just one more thing that we also include. Of course, the Nanomax is a 97% food grade plant ingredient cleaning solution, so very green. And it contains the AFT anti-resoiling protector, which is a part of the plant-based makeup of the product. So all very green. I'm using, I used a Bonapro fiber pad, hog's hair fiber pad first. Went over the carpet with that first, which is my normal procedure. And then follow that with the Bonapro Ironman. Now I could just go to straight to the Ironman, but the reason I use the fiber pad is I find that they will strip the soil off faster than if I just stuck with the Ironman right from the get-go. So, and I find that the fiber pads work extremely well at getting out stains. Whether you use a white one or red one or aqua or the hog's hair, they do work extremely well for removing stains. So anyway, I'm done this room. I'll back out, and then we'll go to the next room over to my right. I have to just center the deflector. There we go. That's only because I have a center feed machine, and I want to make sure that the solution as it drops down into the fiber pad will deflect and spin out a little bit and give me a little more even application. This is actually a nylon Berber, not an olefin. So it has a little bit of a softer feel to it. Somebody outside there is putting in some windows apparently. That's why you hear that hammering. There's a couple of spots on that one that they come right off just like that on that mat. Okay, I'll just go back to the beginning and we'll go to the iron man.
With the stain, okay?
I haven't got there yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not quite. But look at the office.
That looks good.
Looks all right, doesn't it?
You can't tell that where the car,
Nope.
that'd be, yeah.
No, it's looking good.
Well, before you go too far,
Yep.
I better give my walk. What do you do? Take MasterCard or anything?
Yep, we can do that.
Okay, I'll just get by you here.
Okay.
Get my...
So a little tiny spot there. You could still see, and now it's gone. Okay. Alrighty. So let's get these out of the way, and you can see there's the series of peepees here. Let's get these mats out of the way. Okay. Alright. So, now I'll flip back to the fiber pad. And so that's what I've got off the office and those mats. I'll flip the Iron Man for doing this bedroom, although it's nowhere near saturated, but I will anyway, since I won't be using it on the next job. It's only used on one job. Okay, now, by the way, if you're watching my videos, this video is after, obviously, the video where I replaced the bearings on here, so I don't know if you can hear a difference compared to what this machine was sounding like previous to my replacing the bearings, but I do notice a little bit of a difference. It was making sort of a ticking noise. So I guess that was the bearing sort of grumbling away a little bit. Now it's perfectly quiet. In fact, I'll show you how quiet this thing is normally without the dry block. Just a hum. Sounds good. Okay, drop her down again. So again, this machine is rotating 360 degrees on the carpet fiber. Most of the carpet will be cleaned, the fiber will be cleaned from all directions as I overlap and go forward and back. So any of the areas where there's actual traffic, certainly we're going to get 360 degrees on it, no problem. And it does that 360 degrees 3 times per second because this machine is actually a 180. It's not a 175, so slightly faster than a normal rotary. I'm sure that doesn't really make any real difference. Maybe a slight difference. I doubt you would notice the difference as far as performance of cleaning or anything. It's not like a difference between a 175 and a 300, which is going way faster. And I had one once, which I sold to my friend Roger. I found that I almost never used the 300 RPM. And this machine has a lot of advantages, so I can't carry them all. I can't have them all. Okay, here's the PP marks right ahead of me here. So I did spray them with peroxide. And normally that would result in 100% removal. I do have the ClO2 in the solution anyway, and that will usually deal with any urine. Even at that level, I'll apply a little bit heavier. There's a stain right at that doorway. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's gone now. Sort of a black smudgy was there. That's all gone. Okay, you can see the kind of blotches here. They said they tried to get it out. Didn't have success. I find that when I do get these stains out, which is in almost every case, they don't come back. And when I put the peroxide on, I don't oversaturate. I don't try and saturate the stain with the peroxide. I don't think that's necessary, or I don't find it is anyway. I get them damp, but I don't get it saturated. So I'm going to just go over this area a little bit more, a little bit extra. I'm applying a little bit heavier than I normally would for this area because of the urine in there. And there, again, as there's the ClO2 in this solution, will oxidize the organic matter, the urine, etc. There was no odor here. I did a job, I guess it was yesterday. Yes, I think it was yesterday. Life is confusing. And quite an obvious smell. Couldn't see a stain, but an obvious smell near the patio door where her older Dougie had been having accidents, so I increased the ClO2 and the smell within 30 seconds or so as I went over it just disappeared. So it's really nice how fast the ClO2 works on odors, and it's not masking with a smell. There's no real odor to the ClO2. It just sort of has a clean smell. Okay, I'm gonna head back across the room. The carpet is looking, I can see the carpet is just popping. That's my word for it. It pops. So when I finish with the vacuum step, it's going to look great, as usual. And it does look, to me, it does look better than when I cleaned it last year with the OP. I just was not impressed with the way the OP cleaned it. And this is just the first step. All right, we'll take that off. And I'll put the unused side down. So it's really not that soiled. It can get very black before it's saturated. So it's looking fine. But I'm going to run the clean side on this room. Oops. Ooh, I hate that. I like it to be nice and... Oh, gee whiz. Ugh. I hate it when it goes off center. Alright, I'll put up with it. Okay, that's better. I like it running smooth. So now the Iron Man, which is a very specialized cotton blend, Egyptian cotton apparently, is very absorbent, and the soil that has been emulsified and lifted into suspension and effectively scrubbed off the carpet fiber with the fiber pad is easily just mopped up off the carpet fiber now with the Iron Man pad. I could do this all just with the Iron Man pad, but it would just take longer. And I've learned that it's better off just to run over with a fiber pad and just strip the soil and stains off with that, and then mop up basically with the Iron Man, or even a microfiber if that's what you prefer. I do have those as well, but I guess I really started getting into the Iron Man a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I really appreciate how well they work, particularly since you can really see the soil that transfers onto them, and that's cool. They do work well, and they do last well too. Now I don't use them under my OPs. I know some guys do, but I don't like them under the OP myself. They don't stand up so well there, but that's cotton for you. But it doesn't matter, because I only use my OPs almost only ever use my OPs for